So here we are, peace at last. I don't know if I'll put the videos up from my journey to get here. Just been absolutely swarmed. Yeah, it's just one of those days. The pressure's on. So finally, now that I've got some peace, although of course there's always distractions wherever you go. Whether it's a kind of slight distraction like the birds you can hear, we're in nature now, so it's a more gentle distraction. It's not as aggressive as when you're walking on the main road and you have people driving past you revving their engines or, beeping their horns or glaring at you. But there'll still be distractions. But I kind of wanted to talk, and I'm not sure how to word this, so it might just turn into another complete ramble, but I know some people who listen clearly don't mind a ramble because they continue to listen, so I don't know, no one really comments, but there we go, continue to listen. I'm sure at least 50% of the people who watch this will be not good people, that then share it amongst themselves, but that's okay. So yeah, I'll kind of try and put into words what it is that I want to say. I'm not the best at putting things into words. There's people who are a lot more capable than me, but if someone's meant to hear this, then they will hear it. I firmly believe in that. And I firmly believe that all of us have got something that other people need to hear. That's why I continue to watch and listen to channels whose perspective on things I don't necessarily agree with, or they don't share the same opinion as me. But I believe that there can be things learned from all different perspectives, and I think if you turn your mind off to any one of them, then you've already lost. You're losing the game. You need to keep an open mind when it comes to all things, and that's kind of what I wanted to say. I've very much been of the camp of this is all military. It's all military doing this, and you can understand that from the perspective of someone who not only was in the military, but from a normal person. We were all, before we realised that this gang stalking was a thing, we were all normal people, and you all want to come to the most sensible conclusion, and the most sensible conclusion that you can come to is that this is man-made, that this is a man-made thing, and there's people doing this. Because that's where your mind wants to take you. Who wants to think about things from other dimensions? And I'm already getting flustered. See, yeah, already. It sounds all good in my head when I'm thinking about what I want to say, and I can see it clearly in my head. And then as soon as I start speaking, it just all goes to shit, really. No one wants to think that there's anything kind of spiritual in the world. I'm one of those people that absolutely poo-pooed that. When you see people talking about ghosts being in their house, or having this kind of spiritual experience, or having an experience with kind of demon or demonic entities or things like that, I was always the kind of person that would think, you're a fucking nut job, honestly. What are you talking about? There's no such thing. I would never have believed in that. I was very closed-minded to things like that, so it's really hard to then get to be in your 40s and start experiencing some of the things that I've experienced openly, overtly the last 3 years, but really throughout my life, but I've just closed my mind off to them. I've made excuses for them. I've rationalised them in my brain, and then to get to 40 odds and actually start thinking, well maybe, it's quite hard. It's quite hard going to completely change your opinion like that. I'm stuck. Can't get around. I've got my good boots on, but yeah, there we go. never stuck, you just can't see the way sometimes. Yeah, so I've always tried to go for the most rational reasoning, which is the military and police, and but my mind is a lot more open nowadays to other things, and I struggle with that because, like I said, like we all know, for this to be man-made is the most rational option. It is, no one wants to start believing in ghosts and ghoulies and spiritual beings and things like that. Nobody does, because you sound nutty, and you sound nutty when you start saying it. You do if you're anyone with a bit of intelligence, and I don't really include myself in that camp, but for this example I will. You know that you sound nuts if you start talking about that stuff. But it's becoming more and more obvious that this is much more than man-made. But then again, I struggle with saying that, because I think, is this the road that they want to lead me down? Is this the road that it's been on the cards that they can lead me down that? If they can start getting me believing in ghosties and ghoulies, then then they've won, and they can come out, this is your lifestyle at the end, and go, we really fucked you over, didn't we? You believe that there's monsters and demons in the world. So I don't know, I struggle with it. I struggle with what I believe in. I can only believe in what my brain kind of takes me to, and it's maybe it's my ego that's stopping me from really opening my eyes, because I don't want to believe what's right in front of me, for fear of, like I just said, for fear of being laughed at. So it's kind of ego driven, isn't it? You don't want to be laughed at. But then again, who are these people that are going to laugh at me? These are the same people that are causing my life to be a misery. So should I really value their opinion? I don't know. It's always kind of self-preservation, isn't it? Self-protection. You always want to however much the people claim not to care about what other people think, I think as a species that we all really do, regardless of who the people are and what it is that they're participating in against you. I feel like I'm not making any sense. It's really, really difficult to speak just yourself, to speak out loud as just yourself, with no one kind of offering any opinion, interjecting it, even if it's just that or I see what you're saying, or that is really, really difficult if none of you have done it. It's a really difficult thing to do, even when I'm talking in my head and I'm kind of rehearsing what I'm thinking in my head and what I want to speak about. I feel like I've got a bounce back and forth in my head, it's difficult to explain, but when you're actually just talking out loud to yourself and with no other opinions or no other anyone jumping in or making any kind of sounds or motioning as if you're going in the right direction, it's really, really difficult thing to do. It is. Yeah, and I like I said before, I listen to it back and I feel like I ramble. There's people that speak about things that are a lot more coherent than I am, and I enjoy listening to them because they say the things that I'm thinking, but I just don't have the intelligence to speak them out loud. I find it really hard. And I struggle, I struggle when you've got no one to bounce your opinions off, or no one to really to guide you in anything. I know a lot of people, a lot of kind of TIs say that they're alone, they're lonely or whatever. Of course I'm having to get not be allowed to be alone in the woods. I'm going to pause this just now and then I'm going to come back to it. Of course, like I said, you're never allowed to be alone anywhere you go, There always has to be a distraction, or something. There's another one coming now. It's I'm obviously, I take it as a compliment that I'm kind of on the right lines, that I'm heading in the right direction, that they have to surround me, they have to swarm me, even when I'm kind of out in nature and I'm alone where I would normally be alone in the woods, where every time up until a certain point when I came here I was alone, but obviously now they have to they have to surround you, they have to send their kind of bots around you, you know, to try and put you off what it is that you're saying, because you're obviously speaking. You know, you notice the clothing choices are very good, aren't they? Yeah. Anyway, I hope you understood what I was saying. They've obviously put me off. Obviously that's the plan, because I'm getting to the stage where, see, that makes me think as well, you know, I'm obviously getting to the stage where I'm discovering some kind of truth, and I'm really, really opening my eyes even more so to see what the world for what it is. So the sorry, just checking my time. So the attacks, the swarming, the mobbing, the campaigns that they form against you are just becoming more and more aggressive as of late. So I suppose, if anything, you know, it's not a particularly nice thing, but it can only lead me to believe that I'm searching in the right direction, and I'm heading in the right direction, and that what I'm seeing is obviously having some kind of effect on them, that they feel that they need to up the ante, so to speak. But yeah, I kind of wanted to, I think I was saying this before, I was rudely interrupted by demons and their demon animals. Or not demons, I shouldn't say that. I think these people are controlled, you know. You don't know what vices people have. You can't look at someone and think that they're a good person. You know, I used to be of the opinion that, you know, people outwardly was what they are, but it's not factual. It's like that whole Facebook phenomenon, for another word that I can't say. People show online a mask of what they want people to see. It's not the reality of what their lives are and what they are. It's not. So you should be really, really cautious about just looking at people and assuming from an outwardly standpoint, from what they look like or what you assume them to be, from their job, etc., that they're good people. It's a really dangerous kind of way to see things. So yeah, you don't know what vices they have, what kind of vices they have, in the way that dark beings can kind of use them because of any vices that they have, you know. And everyone has an addiction. Every single person in the world has an addiction. So whether something can go through them and use them to get at you is I'm kind of the opinion that, well, I'm beginning to see that as reality. But yeah, it's difficult at the moment. It's really difficult. Like I think I was going to say before I saw them, I think most TIs are kind of alone, but you know, some of them you'll hear them say about their, you know, family or their friends or something. You know, I have literally nobody. I've not had anybody for the past 3 years. Literally nobody. I don't have a single soul in the whole world, you know, and it's a really, really difficult place to be in. It's really, really difficult to step out of the house each day, especially when you've got these fools surrounding you. It's difficult, and I don't big myself up. I don't take compliments very well, and I don't think I'm anything special. I never have. But let me tell you, it takes all of my strength to walk out of the door every day, knowing what's facing me, you know. Anyway, you take care, and thank you to those of you who make videos. I appreciate you. God bless.